creates the real value. And in turn, when someone views the perceived value as higher than the real value, that's where the purchase is made. Okay, I feel like this is kind of high level, but we're going to break it down, get deeper into this in just a moment. Let's make this a subheader right here. So the goal, at the end of the day, is to get them past the first obstacle in their journey. Going back to timeline marketing for just a second here, I want people to come into my ecosystem at a point where they're actively dealing with the problem. I want people who are typically earlier on in their problem, have not found the solution yet. This is much easier because when you talk to people who do not believe in a solution yet, you can move them into your solution, right? Makes sense. Right. So I like to go after problem-aware markets because they're not just bigger, but they aren't as skeptical, they aren't as jaded, they're more interested in learning what's really going on versus implementing an exact specific solution that they have. So one way you can think about this is like with my Lake Method offer. Some of you guys bought that, some of you guys didn't. But when I sold the Lake Method, I went after people who were really problem-aware. They knew there was a big issue with Andromeda. They couldn't figure it out. And I mean, I've dealt with people who have spent like tens of millions of dollars, sometimes hundreds of millions of dollars on ads, and they're still like, I don't fully get it. And I help them really understand what's actually happening, what's going on with the algorithm, that kind of thing. And because I showed them a solution, I said, now if you use these methodologies, these techniques, you'll get better results. They went, whoa, that makes a lot of sense right now. So they were early to mid in their journey on the timeline. I was able to get them a solution that made logical sense, that solved the problem. I stacked the proof, so that way there was no way they could really do that. And because of that, they came in and they bought, right? So actually, let's go to my Lake Method masterclass right here. So you can see it. This is the exact page that we run on Ice Cold Traffic, right? So the promise is use this Facebook ads framework in 2026 to cut ad costs, get more sales, make ads easy again. Like, what actually is it? It's a simple 4-step system: launch, analyze, kill, expand, that removes the guesswork from your ad account so you know exactly what to kill and what to scale, right? So after I show them the proof, because I have to obey their buying pattern, and their buying pattern is a lot of proof up front, and then after I give them a lot of proof, then I explain what the difference is and why it really works. Right, I just like fire hose with proof here. But look how much I really spend talking about what the real problem is. Like, you're fighting how Facebook works in 2026. Like, here's why it keeps failing. You're refreshing your creative. You're rebuilding your structure. You're relaunching what used to work. None of these things actually work. And if you keep doing them, it's going to make your account worse, not better. Every solution you've been sold is just a different brand of fishing rod. Doesn't matter how fancy the rod is. If you're still casting in a pocket, it's already been picked clean. Fish aren't gone. You just need to move to a different part of the lake, right? And then and after that, do I really start getting into like my solution and my methodology and how I actually do it? And then I pitch the offer itself, right?